The S&P has dropped the most under Trump for any president at this point in their presidency since the S&P 500 was in fact created back in 1957. And indeed, it is not anywhere close, folks. It's not anywhere close. Under Trump, it's dropped, get this, 14%. The next closest one was George W. Bush back in 2001, a drop of just half that at 7%. No other elected president at this point in their presidency saw a drop of 5% or more. So Donald Trump is on a planet all by himself, a planet you do not want to be on. The American people don't want to be on.
I agree with Harry Enten. I don't want to be on that planet, but also I don't want to be on this planet. I'm planetless. I don't know where to go. But I do know that that's not great economic news. That's not what people voted for. They didn't say, yeah, no, get rid of Joe Biden because I want the economy to be absolutely destroyed 2 months after Donald Trump gets in. But unfortunately, that's what we got. And look, I think we have to be real. We have to be willing to acknowledge real facts that are inconvenient. We got to this because of things he did actually promise to do. Now, he didn't say he was going to wreck the economy, but he did say he's going to do this massive trade war. He did say, I'm going to do tax cuts for the wealthy, and that's what he's doing. And so to some extent, I think the voters have to take responsibility for what they voted for. Now, again, they were lied to. Hundreds of millions of dollars were put into this massive billionaire-backed thing to hoodwink them, but this is what we're getting. Now, the good news today is that Donald Trump apparently, finally, people have gotten through to him and he is now running scared from the outcome of his actions. And in two separate ways that we're gonna profile, he is in full retreat from what he has done. Well, one thing that he's already done and one thing that he was threatening to do, and we're gonna give those to you. But it is important to talk about why he's all of a sudden surrendering, even if it might end up being very humiliating to him because he's a tough guy and now he's not gonna do all this stuff. Well, apparently the CEOs of some of the big box retailers like Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, they apparently met with him and they told him that prices aren't going up, they're steady right now, but they will go up, and that's gonna be bad. But also, this wasn't just about food. And he was told that shelves will be empty. So the idea that people are gonna be walking to Walmart and Target and Home Depot, and there's just gonna be, like they'll always take like shots from like another country and be like, it's America, like there's nothing on the shelves, Biden or whatever. No, that's what they were saying is going to happen. And that apparently spooked him. Now, I don't know why that spooked him and evaporating $6 trillion worth of stock market didn't, but whatever, it got to him and thus now the retreat. So let's talk about how he was retreating. The first is that he is now saying that he is not going to fire Jerome Powell, the chair of the Fed, which he obviously shouldn't do, arguably can't do legally, but he had definitely been threatening to do that. He now says, I have no intention of firing him. I would like to see him be a little more active in terms of his idea to lower interest rates. This is a perfect time to lower interest rates. If he doesn't, is it the end? No, it's not, but it would be good timing. What kind of like cheap reverse psychology is that there? I'd like to see him be more active in terms of his idea to lower interest rates. That's your idea. You can't just say it's his idea and say, I want you to do more of it. Is it that easy psychologically to manipulate people? But anyway, the White House economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, had said last week that they were studying the idea of firing Powell. Now Trump says he never planned to fire him. I will just say, if you want to waste a couple minutes of your time, go look over his Truth Social post. It was very clear that he was gunning for this guy, but that really spooked a lot of the big corporations and all that, and the big donors. And so now he's backing off because they were scared about that. But the bigger retreat potentially is that he is now apparently considering slashing tariffs on China to de-escalate the trade war. And that is probably not constitutionally, but in terms of the economy, that's a more significant retreat because that was almost certainly going to do a ton of damage to consumers and to our corporations. But that said, while this is both good news, both of those changes are good news, assuming that it's true. I do think, Sharon, we should take the opportunity to mock him because he said, I'm tough, I'm an economic titan, I'm gonna take on the world with my trade war. Oops, this is a disaster. Get rid of all the tariffs on basically everyone, but China, I'm still tough with China. I'm gonna cow him. And then China did the same exact thing back to him. And now he's backing down without having gotten anything, which is only exactly what we and many people said would happen. He'll eventually back down. Maybe he'll claim he got something. In this case, he's not even doing that. He hasn't gotten literally anything, but he's backing down, and it makes him and it makes America look really weak in the event that we do need to actually engage in difficult negotiations with these other countries. And in exchange for that damage, we've gotten literally nothing, Sharon. So great job, Donald Trump. What do you think?
And yet Bissett was out there trying to, because they have to placate him. They have to convince him behind the scenes that this is still a win. And he steps to the microphone and says things like, we've got, there are actively 70 countries. They're actively wanting to better. It's all not true. In fact, his counterpart in China, I don't even believe he's got him blocked on WhatsApp or something. I believe the Trump administration, if they're even able to reach them, it's underlings. That's the report that I took in this morning on one of the networks that was kind of breaking that. They may be engaging with some parts of the regime, but not at the top, okay? You can talk to, somebody's brother or something, but not officially. So this is a disaster. He's said all kinds of crazy 13-year-old boy type style. Again, 13-year-old boys, I shouldn't attack them. About, this and that, about the Fed chair, who basically is a very refined man, probably very wealthy. He is actually, who said something like, no, I'm not gonna quit and I won't leave if he, he answered the question no, while Trump's calling him all kinds of, Johnny come lately, and he's so slow. And it's just, it's more nincompoop behavior here, okay? In an adult world with some very serious matters, he's not winning. And I wish behind the scenes, they could all I understand he'll get rid of all of them, but somebody's got to be able to reach him and say, you done lost every contest, okay? The miners won't even accept you. That's how bad it is, okay? We're not gonna send you to the farm team. You're a loser, okay? But no one's gonna do that. Instead, they try to go out and tell us how he's winning. Okay.
Yeah, maybe some people buy it. We know better. And by the way, it's probably just for the best to keep him away from the miners in any event.
You're right.
No, this is a big failure. Prepping with a Progressive says the boy who cried tariff. He looks utterly pathetic. But why wouldn't his trade policy be the way all of these guys are? Fake tough, just stupid and fake. That's all it is, and that's all it was. He's gonna get nothing. By the way, we're still gonna be left with some tariffs. He's not taking the tariffs all off of China. He didn't take the tariffs all off of Europe and everything. So he backed off, got nothing, and we're gonna have less damage in terms of prices and the inability of American companies to sell their products abroad. We're still gonna have some. So all we got was damage to the economy. Thanks, Donald Trump. Great move. If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?